Even in the dark, it was easy to see that the boats setting off from the southern Japanese island of Ishigaki were on no ordinary fishing trip. Apart from all the rising sun flags, each flew a green banner of Gambari Nippon, a nationalist campaign group. And the destination, 170 kilometres north across the treacherous East China Sea, was the bitterly disputed Senkaku Islands. These now uninhabited islands have been under Japanese administration for more than a century. At dawn, they are a fine sight. Sharp, rocky outcrops, thinly covered with trees and grass, home to thousands of nesting seabirds. But neighbouring Beijing and Taipei insist they are traditional Chinese territory, and China's rising power and increasingly assertive foreign policy makes that a big diplomatic problem for Japan. This visit to the seas around the islands, which China calls the Diaoyu, were officially a chance to learn fishing skills. Some participants did take the chance to catch some fish, an easy task in these teeming waters. But the Gambari Nippon group's main goal was to put pressure on the Japanese government to be more assertive in resisting China's rival claim.
This quiet morning, the Senkaku Islands don't look very contested. The only other vessels I can see around here at the moment are fishing boats from our little flotilla. But these islands are among the most argued over real estate in all of East Asia.
6 members of Japan's parliament joined the Gambari Nippon fishing trip, prompting a sharp response from Beijing, which calls the island the Diaoyu. Beijing is also upset about the controversial plans of Tokyo's right-wing governor, Shintaro Ishihara, to buy the islands from their private owner, in order, as he sees it, to protect them from China.
下手するとね、そのうち日本は中国のシナの国旗の五星紅旗の6番目のね、星は小さな日の丸になるかもしれませんよ、これ。
2 years ago, a clash between the Coast Guard and the Chinese fishing boat turned the Senkaku Island issue from a festering sore to a real crisis. Beijing was outraged when the Chinese boat's captain was arrested, but Japanese nationalists were just as angry that he was released unpunished after China halted government exchanges and disrupted economic ties. The Gambari Nippon group started voyages after the 2010 clash to push their case that Japan should be bold in using and developing the Senkakus. Trip participant Masato Suzuki says the islands are not just potentially rich in resources, but also strategically important, and that neglecting them could let China get control.
民間人が何ができるかといっても大したことはできませんが、せめてこの魚釣島の周り、尖閣諸島の周りをですね、漁業調査に来ることによって我々が実効支配をしているんだと、これは日本の固有の領土なんだということを、中国をはじめ世界の皆様に知っていただく、あるいは日本の人が住んでないとこなんかいいじゃないかと思っている人たちにもしっかりと目覚めてもらいたいという思いで今日は来ました。
To drive home their point, the Gambari Nippon boats paraded in front of the islands like toy battleships. Nationalists want to force the central government to ease restrictions on access to the waters around the Senkaku Islands and to end a ban on landings that was imposed to avoid frictions with Beijing. The island dispute is still a minority concern in Japan, but the Gambari Nippon trip attracted participants ranging from farmers to chip designers. At a post-voyage party, electronics company worker Takashi Kanbayashi said China was a potential enemy. But Mr. Kanbayashi reserved his greatest ire for what he sees as weak Japanese leaders.
They are just only one nation's interest. Japan. Most wrong issue is Japan's government. They are not so brave. China is back, but the Japanese government is more down.
Such feelings are a reminder of the potential dangers of the Senkaku dispute, and with activists in China and Taiwan feeling just as strongly, it is a diplomatic headache that is likely to get worse. Mure Dickie, Financial Times, off the Senkaku Islands.